Have you ever dreamed of exploring a city as vibrant and diverse as Los Angeles? Do you wonder what secrets and stories lie in its bustling streets, its hidden corners? And what if you had a guide to lead you through every step of this journey? Stay tuned. A new way to travel is about to unfold.
Meet Emily, a passionate solo traveler and a devoted pet enthusiast. She's on her way to explore the vibrant city of Los Angeles, seeking to immerse herself in the local culture and visit its famous landmarks. Emily meticulously planned her journey, aiming to experience the best of what Los Angeles has to offer. But amidst her busy itinerary, she missed out on a hidden gem, the Cuddly Cat Cafe and Happy Hour, a haven for pet lovers like herself. It's only after her trip that Emily discovers this delightful pet-friendly cafe, a missed opportunity that she deeply regrets. If only there was a way to stay informed about such unique experiences. Enter Wanderlust, the travel assistant chatbot that could have transformed Emily's experience.
When we search for travel ideas, we're bombarded with countless results. Top 10 lists, travel blogs, endless reviews. It can be overwhelming, confusing, and frankly, exhausting. With Wanderlust, say goodbye to endless scrolling and conflicting advice. This intelligent travel assistant understands your preferences, suggests destinations tailored just for you, and keeps you up to date with the most exciting upcoming events and seasonal activities. Whether it's a hidden beach getaway, a cultural city excursion, or an adventurous mountain retreat, Wanderlust simplifies your journey from dreaming to doing.
But Wanderlust is not just about words. Let's see how it brings the world closer with its image processing capabilities. Let's go back to Emily. Emily often finds herself wondering about unknown destinations she sees in Instagram Reels, TikTok, or her friends' stories. With Wanderlust, Emily simply needs to upload a photo of any place that piques her curiosity. So, whether it's a photo from a magazine, a screenshot from a friend, or a curious spot you stumbled upon online, Wanderlust turns a snapshot into your next travel story.
Hi, this is Veda from Wanderlust, and we are actually here to talk about your travel experiences and how often do you travel and what are your resources that you actually use for the travel to plan your itinerary. So we have few people with us, and let's just know about their experiences and their modes of resources for our travel. So starting with you, like how often do you travel and like what are your go-to resources to plan your trip or itineraries?
So I love to travel. I think in terms of frequency, I would take like big trips like 3 to 4 times a year. Obviously depending on my schedule, and then I like to travel to small places on weekends, like short trips. And in terms of planning, I mostly use like Google Maps with the see the ratings and images and reviews, right? That, and then social media like Instagram tags and all, and then like websites like TripAdvisor, and if I want to book a long trip, I will go to like travel agency, go through their packages, and then try to build up my itinerary on that, and then obviously friends and stuff.
Yeah, totally agree. And how often do you travel and what are your go-to resources?
So I think I also try to travel about like 3 to 4 times a year. Um my primary source of motivation or like resources to gather information is watching vlogs and also reading blogs in about the place that I'm trying to visit, shortlisting a couple of places based on the information provided in multiple blogs, and then basically recommendations from my friends who have visited those kind of places as such. So that is my primary mode of gathering that kind of information. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And what about you? Like how often do you travel and what are your go-to resources?
So my case is a bit different. Like my family loves to travel overall. So my dad eventually plans the trip. Dad and I especially. So if my dad is planning the trip, he will go the olden way. Like he will refer to a travel agent. And the travel agent gives him a list of all the places to visit. And I don't know, like he never like has his references from where did he picked up and all, and we blindly just like go on that thing. So but we travel like 2 to 3 times a year on a family vacation, internationally and like in India or anywhere. Like now I'm here, my family comes here to travel, and like over here My father is like finding places to like visit the states, like which cities is like famous to go to like other countries and stuff. But yeah, I always tell him to like refer to vlogs or Instagram, but he's like, no, I have this travel agent of mine who I'm blindly like trust on, and like whatever he does, he's the best kind of thing. So it's my situation.
Yeah, that's great. So one common thing that we have noticed from all of your answers is something that you actually go to websites or TripAdvisor or like travel agents, like they have standardized trips and packages and itineraries for you, but which are not tailored, like which you actually want to, like for suppose you have happened to see this a beautiful place in your Instagram or like in your feed, so but you don't know what is it, and like you don't get personalized recommendations, like you actually don't know some hidden gems in the cities, and also like you get standardized recommendations and packages. So like let me introduce our chatbot Wanderlust, and here it is a travel chatbot and assistant just for you like travel enthusiasts, and we have personalized recommendations depending on the user preferences, and we also have the image processing capabilities, like once if you upload the picture that you like or that you have seen in your feed or Instagram, so we'll get the theme based restaurants or theme based locations or attractions that we have near your area, and also we also have a separate web interface for that, and you are actually can see recommended places depending on your travel chat history that our chatbot captures, and you'll get personalized tailored recommendations. So and it is interactive 24/7 availability, you can chat with it, and I know it is time consuming for a lot of you to actually read and plan the trips, and this is our idea of the chatbot. Like how are you finding this idea of travel chatbot? Let's start.
So I think the fact that I like is it would be a one-stop shop. So I would get a lot of different resources bundled into one, and I like to customize my itinerary depending on the preferences of the people I'm traveling with. So like I like to do activities more than sightseeing. So I think it would be very helpful in that terms. Like I can tell your chatbot like exactly what I want from my trip and then get that. And also the fact that I think you guys integrate images and different sources of data which are not textual. So I think it would be interesting in terms of the recommendations it would be provide me, and maybe it would be better because I would just have access to textual information through Google search or any other search engine. So it definitely sounds very interesting and
Thanks.
useful.
That's good to know. So like if happen to our chatbot have this subscription, so are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah, definitely. But I would prefer like a model where I can pay for per use, like because I might not travel very regularly. So if I'm planning a trip, then I would definitely be inclined to see the recommendations Wanderlust would provide me.
That's great.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at a subscription model, I would be willing to pay somewhere in the range of 499 to 699, provided that I get it tracks my location. For example, let's say I'm traveling maybe on a business trip or like on a leisure trip. It can provide me notifications. Okay, based on my location, like my phone's location, it can provide me like suggestions of where to visit based on my history as well. So yeah.
For me, I think I would like to like first try the software to feel like this 1 day free trial, and after that, probably like if I like get engaged in the software, I would like willing to pay like $5 or something like that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and suggestions, and we'll try to incorporate into our chatbot. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's start with market potential. Our surveys show a significant travel frequency among consumers, with nearly 80% traveling at least once a year. This isn't just a product, it's an essential service for a large segment of the population. Our chatbot offers exclusive challenges, travel guides, and personalized support, aligning perfectly with what 88% of users are excited about, experiences that money can't typically buy. Imagine you are planning a month-long tour across Europe and use a chatbot to seek detailed travel guides, book accommodations, find local cuisines, and adapt plans on the go. With GPT-4, each interaction, due to the detailed nature of the inquiries, averages about 750 tokens.
On a busy planning day, you might have up to 10 interactions, which amounts to 7,500 tokens daily. In a month, this would total approximately 225,000 tokens. The cost for this usage with GPT-4 would be $27 per month. Wanderlust is just $10 per month, favored by over 70% of our surveyed audience. For the cost of a couple of lattes, our subscribers get a premium, seamless, and interactive travel planning assistant ready to take on the world with them. That is $17 per month savings for you. You might as well subscribe to 2 other chatbots in this class than to go with pay-as-you-go subscription model. With just 8,000 subscribers, we can cross the $1 million annual revenue mark.
So,
Hello, my name is Shreyash, and today I'm presenting you Wanderlust, a chatbot who helps you to plan your travel itinerary, along with my teammates Vedanvita and Kritika. So we will be using open source large language model using our custom dataset to build our chat. So the plan of action is we will introduce you to our chatbot Wanderlust and we'll explain what sets Wanderlust apart. We'll also show you the market research that we have done. Next, we'll go to demo. We'll talk about our data set and the model that we chose to train our large language model. So here's a chatbot, Wanderlust, and the main idea for this chatbot is to build a unique community of people, including travelers, vloggers, and influencers who have similar interests, and people will chat with our chatbot and ask him suggestions. And the chatbot will suggest themed restaurant, parks, museum, national parks, movies, etc. And later we will be planning to integrate Google API, which will help the user to get optimal routes, direction, and the places like restaurants with their reviews. So what sets Wanderlust apart? The one thing that we try to make is a tailored recommendation. So the preferences that Wanderlust will be giving will be based on the upcoming themes, the previous trips that user had, the interactive history, and many much more things that we will be training our chatbot on the custom dataset. One important thing that we should consider is chatbots are based on real-time interactions. So whenever we interact with chatbot, it's always better than navigating through reviews and forums that we search on the internet. Other thing is we will be helping user to get trustworthy suggestions. So the chatbot will be updated regularly with the new upcoming places, themed restaurants, traveling guides, and the experiences that people would share. Next thing we'll talk about the market research that we did to talk with people how they feel about wines.
So we have sent out a Google form where the main idea behind the Google form and about the market research is how people travel and what are their modes of resources that to plan their itineraries and what their idea behind traveling or if they are having any themes in the mind. So the same thing we have asked in it, like most of the people do travel at least like more than once in a year. And the travel technologies that they use or the chatbots that they use are mostly it's like the website, booking, Expedia, Google Maps. It is just like these are like you can't just get everything information in one app. Like Expedia might give you the best restaurant deals and Google Maps might give you the attraction places. Whereas like it doesn't integrate everything into one place, whereas our chatbot does. So our idea, like I mentioned that travel chatbot will give you a theme-based places and theme-based maps to visit. So that was very exciting for all our users. And the feature and benefits that we can actually integrate with the chatbot for business use cases is we can build a community where the travelers can explore their experiences, can share their reviews, and like we can also integrate this chatbot with the Expedia or like any other platforms like booking platforms or hotels like to get exclusive deals. So these all features can be integrated for business use cases. And these are some responses where the customers, like the people who fill the Google form have found interesting. And also regarding the willingness to pay, like people mostly tend to pay as it depends on the price. So we get $5 to $10 was the most common response, the ideal price range, which is actually very reasonable given all the features or benefits that can be integrated with the chatbot.
So when we tested a chatbot during our first phase of training, we have attached a screenshot where a travel assistant would greet the user saying, Welcome to Wanderlust, I'm your assistant for your next travel theme and how can I help?" So if you would say user can type a query like, I want to travel next month in November, and what places can I go to hang out with my friends? So the main idea for putting this query is that the large language models that we use in our local system doesn't have information which are based on themes or restaurants or the events which are happening in the future. So whatever data that we choose to train our model, we had informations which are coming from the future. So people have their experiences, they went to places and they put their posts, blogs, and the data that we scrape from their experiences is useful for the chatbot to answer this question. So the first answer was very good. It's like for fabulous November trip with friends, consider exploring Solvang Jewel Fest in Southern California. So this is an annual Christmas celebration that takes place from late November through early January in charming Danish village of Solvang. So the answer that he collected, we tried to trace it back, and we came to realize that the answer he gave was from one of the website, which is 13 Ways to Celebrate Jewel Feast Solvang Christmas 2023. So this was our first phase. In the next phase, what we did is we tried to give them an image. So one thing that we integrated in our chatbot, and it's one of the best feature I would say, is it can understand the context of an image. So in the first image that we gave, it's a Google map from Los Angeles to San Francisco. We did not give him the context, we did not ask him the question, but the chatbot himself understand that they might be asking question where they are traveling through San Francisco or they live near San Francisco. So it gave an response that how you can plan your trip to Solvang for the Jewel Fest. You can reach there via airplane from Los Angeles or from San Francisco International Airport. And it gives some details about what you can do during your travel, and it also gives you to check the official dates from websites and the events before you travel, which makes sense. Next, what we did is we put an image from that blog post to see if we can understand the context. We put a windmill of the same Solvang Jewel face, and it understand that it's a Solvang windmill park in California, and it's a part of their Danish themed Christmas festivities, and it's one of many unique places that you can visit on your trip. So this was one of the best feature that I would say our chatbot can understand the context of an image. So this is the blog post we traced back to see from where it gave the answer. And from the data that we scraped from the website, 13 Ways to Celebrate June Feast, it's for the Solvang Christmas 2023. And it was able to understand the context and gave the answer based on this specific event. So the main idea for our chatbot would be we will continuously update what are the events happening, and we will add the data based on user experiences where the places they visited in the last year or maybe this year, and they want to post their blogs or their experiences on the internet. And for the windmill image, you can see this was again one of the section of the same blog post, which says the windmill is an iconic landmark in Solvang, and during Christmas, the nearby shops display Christmas decoration, setting the season's mood. So next we'll talk about the model selection, what made us choose the model that we did, and we will be explaining you what parameters we set and how it was helping us to generate the answers that we are getting.
The model selection. There are many Llama derivative models, and one of them is Ouroboros, and that is the model that we are selecting for our project. So, Ouroboros large language model is fine-tuned on Llama 2, and it uses synthetic data generated by GPT-4. And by using synthetic data, it achieves higher performance and expertises in specific tasks without being need of human annotated data. And also, Ouroboros is an uncensored model which is very popular. Now, what does uncensored mean? It means that these models allow the user to train and customize the model for our own specific needs. And here we are using Ouroboros L27D 3.0 and Q4 model. So 7D is nothing but 7 billion parameters, and L2 is Llama 2, and 3.0 is the third version, and also it's quantized, yeah, Q4, right? So it's 4-bit quantized. Then this model is developed with the focus of maximizing the usability. So one of the notable features of this model is its ability to exhibit improved and increased reasonable capabilities. Now, due to its uncensored nature, it is highly versatile, accepting wide range of inputs and queries, like we saw earlier, images, text, yeah. So it provides a comprehensive and efficient experience, like coding in multiple languages, and we can ask reasoning questions, math questions, and it also handles riddles. Now, what does this 4-bit quantized means? Now, when a model is very huge, initially it was huge, so the weights and the biases are also have a high precision number. So if the weights are high, which means that the model size, no, if the weights are high with a high precise number, the model size is also high. And if you reduce the weights, then the precision also decreases. So this model is quantized, as in quantization is a process which reduces the precision of the weights, biases, and activations of neural network in order to reduce the size and computation requirements of the model. Now, this can be done without impacting the accuracy of the model, which is very beneficial as we can also download the model. And in our model, we are using number of GPU layers is 1, number of contexts is 4096, and the number of threads we are using is 8. These are the parameters that we are setting, and the number of threads batch is 8, and the number of batch size is 512. So right? And these are the parameters that we have set for the gradient UI, with all the parameters we are introducing like that UI interface. And the main embeddings that we are using is the syntax and the standard converse. So once in the syntax and the main model is from the all engineer based vehicle, and it can so there's a detailed model for the embedding skills that are using from and tools train again. So the main thing we are using is the state of the art all independent based vehicle model. And it is as it is trained on very large data set, and it has a really good performance and also considering the model size we have. So it is one of the best models that we can use for the embeddings. And here I we are taking the image also as an input. So again, we are using the Salesforce company packages model. It will be to make structure base. This image from the copy base that we are using as our model in the context of the input for images. So the bootstrapping language in which you can the user language understanding and so it's one of the state of the art models for the image dimensional processing and all. So here we can see a man as with the dog and the glass as in the book. So the same thing is divided the neural network block attention mechanism here. So it understand what's the image about like a man is a blue shirt is wearing the glasses, and then you can ask the questions who's wearing the glasses and everything here. image, first it understands the context, like what is it doing, and once it can ask, like what dog is wearing, so as we can see here, what is the dog wearing, it gives the answer, it is wearing a pair of glasses. So it goes through all this attention mechanism and then the other mechanism that we have, and is able to generate a good response. So, and here in the models where we are using Llama City EGGUF model type to load the model, as GGUF is one of the latest versions that Llama CPP has adapted, as it is not supporting GGML model versions. We use GGUF model version for Llama CPP, and we load the AWS model so easily and deploy it to our hardware. And you can see the chatbot giving individual answers according to the context, and which is the main aim of a travel study, which is easiest to generate answers which are happening in the near future, like Southern West in November and December, which is the most happening place here in Southern California.
So this was our introductory video, and next we are implementing retrieval augmented generation. So our data set that we are collecting is something that some restaurants or blog posts or people who are experiencing their themes in a particular seasonal activities will be posting on internet, and we will be scraping those data, and then we will create the embeddings of that. And we are using mini LLM Hugging Face embeddings model, which is free, and then we will be storing it in a vector database. So once that is done, a user query will be prompted, and then the data that is stored in the form of embeddings will be added as a system prompt, and which will be given to our large language model to generate the answer. Now let's talk about our large language model, Aeroboros.
So the main reason that we have gone with the Aeroboros model is it is a fine-tuned Llama 2 version model, and it is particularly trained on the additional data samples like synthetic data generated by the GPT-4, which actually makes the model to understand a lot more about the language context, and particularly tuning it to a specific task like coding or like a game, or like in our case it is to the travel chatbot. So as the model is already trained on many data samples of synthetic data generated by the GPT-4, it has a very good knowledge, and also the manual labor of training the large language model with additional data labeling, which is costly. So the synthetic data of Aeroboros model makes it more robust and accurate. And this is the main reason that we have implemented the Aeroboros model into our travel chatbot. And the further is continued. Now, how to get text information about an image? So for that, we are using Blip, a a Hugging Face based by Salesforce. So here, first we are giving an input as an image to an image encoder, and it has an interface of two parts. First is the image transformer, and second is the LLM. So the first part, it extracts the output features from the image encoder and also takes the query embeddings as input. And the output what we get is a VIT, that is virtual transformer. And three types of losses have been calculated at the attention masking. First is the image text contrastive loss, image text loss, and image text matching loss. So I'll tell you of one of the losses. So image text matching loss, in that the queries and the text generated can see each other, and a logic is being obtained to determine whether the text generated matches the image or not. So in this way, the Blip pre-trained model gives us the text information about an image.
So here's an example, like if you have an image, you will first create a caption of that image. And based on that caption, the model will know what the image is about. So when creating the caption, you can see here a man and a dog is sitting together. And if you would ask a question like, what is the dog wearing? Then you would get an answer of a pair of glasses. So this is how Blip model by Salesforce is working. On top of this, we have also created our front-end website for our Wanderlust Chatbot. And here we are giving users some option to explore. And these options are provided by us. You can see there are multiple events which are advertised by a particular restaurant, a particular club, and they would uh, tell on their advertisement that what things you can expect, and user can either click on this and get what things they can plan, or they can go to this assistant tab where it will redirect the user to our chatbot. And from here, again, whatever things user wants to ask, they can ask as ask to our travel assistant. Next, we will talk about how people can directly plan their trips through Google API integration that we have done in this progress. So I will open my app.py file and run it. So this will work in our local host. So once we go there, we will be presented with our website that we have created. And once we are here, we have multiple options that we have tailored for the user that they can travel their next trip. So let's say, for example, person clicks to Solvang, then he will be presented to enter their starting locations. Let's say I'll put my home address, and then if I press enter, will redirect me to the Google Maps, showing me how long it is, how many miles, what time it will require, and he can directly plan his trip right away through the Google API. So one great thing to uh, notice is to ask is that why we are doing this. What's the use of Google API integration in our chatbot?
So the main use case of integrating this feature to our chatbot is that as we are planning to implement the autogen capabilities to our chatbot, and once the user enters the preferences, so our chatbot plans the itinerary and the history is saved in the website. And also based on the history, like our chatbot can actually collect the theme or like the most recently visited places, the common theme from them. And because of these themes and all, we'll be able to generate much more better recommendations to the user, that which can be displayed on the different tiles of the website. And also once the history is remembered by the chatbot, as we are trying to implement the autogen capabilities in the future, so the different agents can talk to it regarding the theme and will be able to suggest much more better recommendations and itinerary once the user enters or prompts and suggests the better destinations to the user according to what's happening to the season or like according to the user preferences, as we'll be having the history that we have and also using the autogen capabilities, we'll be able to give the better user experience and recommendations. So the code for this is we've added a special function in the website code where we've integrated class to this. So we've added get directions functions, and from this, it Flask acts as a server to get the directions from the Google Maps. And the entire thing is we can add a traditional recommendation system algorithm to this website HTML code for better user preferences, leveraging the autogen capabilities. And we are using Flask to integrate the website to the Google Maps. So what happens first? What happens here? The user, whichever destination that he wants to go, he clicks on the website, and a prompt is generated where the user provides his home location. And once these two information is received, that's the destination and the user's location, get directions function is being called. And then we're also printing the location so that you can cross check again. Then using the Google API key, we open the Google Maps to check to find out an optimal route between the destination and the user's home location. And we have kept the mode to be as driving, and the fastest route is being displayed on the Google Maps. Also, the travel time required to travel and the distance is also printed so that he can find out by when will he reach the destination. And accordingly, he can plan his itinerary. I mean, he can alter his itinerary.
So this was the progress of what we have done in the last week. So if I would summarize, we would basically use our assistant to get the travel itinerary for the user, and then we will use our discover page on the website, which will help them see the exact location, where it is, and how will you reach there, and at what time, like on the go on the website itself. So by this, he can plan his travel more efficiently. And then, as Veda said, we are planning to implement autogen capabilities and recommend new places to the user based on its history. So as of now, we have implemented a little bit of autogen. We are testing it still. So the autogen will help us to plan our itinerary based on multiple agents that we will be creating. So for example, in this terminal, I have created three different agents. One is traveler, one is destination advisor, one is travel storyteller, and one is travel expert. So if you would see, the conversation will be happening in between the agents itself. User just have to put once. For example, user will put, I'm planning a trip to California during this December. What are some must visit places, local experiences, and any traveler stories about them? And then the destination advisor will give him a basic idea, since we have asked it for a trip of California. The destination advisor will say Los Angeles, San Francisco, Napa Valley, Yosemite, and all. And then the storyteller will talk to chat manager, and the storyteller will share one of his experience, saying one of the most memorable personal experience was something. And then the travel expert, the traveler will chat with travel expert to say, could you recommend a 7-day itinerary covering the major attractions? So all of these questions are a conversation between agent itself. User has just put one single line of question.
This time, we are adding a new feature where user can enter its reviews and they can communicate with each other by forming this community of having reviews of different places. So to achieve this, we have added a reviews tab. So if you want to add any of the reviews, let's say uh, Grams and Whiskers, you can enter your reviews, friendly cats, and then you can give some ratings, which I want to five. It says we will added successfully, and when we go back, you can see the Grams and Whiskers will have a review with rating 5. So our website is updated uh, as per our last progress. And we have also added a new feature to our chatbot. Now we can support voice. So in this progress, what we have done is we have added a capability of showing the action of the chatbot as well as the user. Let me explain what I mean. So in the italics, you can see Wanderlust Willow's avatar pops up on the screen. So this is the action that our chatbot will be performed. Now let me show you how the action can be helpful when a user types it. So this is one of the example that we will be trying. So as you can see, I have put asterisks, and in the asterisks, I have put taking a break from a long session of online. So this is the action that chatbot will understand. And then the message will be going to chatbot that can you recommend a relaxing way to spend the evening. So as you can see, chatbot can understand that we are tired because of our long session. So it gives you options based on. And we have also added a UI element in our Gradio web UI, where you get options to check activate TTS, play TTS automatically, TTS as in text to speech, and then show message under text under the audio player. And you also get option to select the voice assistants. And we also added API key from our 11 labs. We will show you how we have created this web UI later. Uh, as per the previous update, we also support the text. Let's say if I want to add the image to our model, I can select image from my local computer, and then it gets added, and the chatbot will try to understand what's given in the image, and based on that, it will help you answer your query and give you the best response for your trip. So you can see chatbot has given a cat lover. I see. Let me find you some cafes in Los Angeles where you can indulge your felon obsession with sipping on a delicious cup of coffee. You can also regenerate your response. So as you can see, our chatbot can understand your intentions based on your images, and we have created the character of our chatbot in such a way that it will be acting as a travel agent. Let me show you how we have able to achieve that. So so these are the character development that we have added as an instruction to our chatbot, where you can see the asterisk implements the action that chatbot will be performing. So, for example, actions like if a user types, if I'm interested in adventure in Los Angeles, any suggestions, it will be thinking as I'm searching, and then it will answer, let's create a city Angeles adventure. Then user ask another question, then it will say, it would do an action of finding timings, searching local cuisines, making reservations, finalizing dates. So this helps the user and the chatbot to show what actions they are doing, and based on that, they will give you response. Now we'll see how we have created the reviews page, and we will show you how we were able to add new reviews on our web.
So as we added the new feature here in our chatbot website is to the reviews. So we have created a separate banner as you have seen in the previous demo, that we can see the review section just right after the recommended places. So here we have added a footer section. So here you can see a footer is added for the reviews. So it adds the stylings and however the background that we want, like which aligns with the previous styling of the other tiles present on the website. And here, as we have also included a star rating, like instead of just displaying a numeric rating, we have incorporated a star rating as well. And here we are using the function prompt function review. So when the user actually clicks on the review, it gets back to this call function prompt review, and where the user can enter the name of the place, like his or her review and the ratings. And after this function, like the star rating gets called, and it will be displayed. And in order to store all the reviews, we are actually using the Flask at the backend. So when the actually website runs and when the user actually gets the reviews and all, so the Flask redirects it to the get review function. And here in the Flask, once the reviews and the submit reviews functions get executed, it returns the reviews to get displayed on the website. So as we can see here, this is the display review function. Once the Flask returns the reviews entered by the user, so here the fetch get reviews is a route to the Flask. And once the Flask returns the JSON formatted strings of all the user's response, it will be displayed on the website down in the banner. And these are the various styles and review stylings and features that we have added for better user let's move on to the our code for adding the voice feature. So the new feature that we have added is text to audio. This is a very important and a unique feature, and it's very much useful as well. So let's say the output is a very big para, and obviously it's boring to read a very big para. So and our chatbot will convert the text to audio, and meanwhile you can do some other activity. So you can do multitasking as well. So let me go through over this code to tell you about it. So we have used the 11 labs library. We have imported it for this function. And then we are setting few attributes. That is API key. We have created an account in 11 labs and we have got a free version of API key for that. And we're using the selected voice as Bella. We can use multiple other voices as well. And we're using the model as 11 monolingual as in single language. We can use other models such as 11 multilingual as in several languages as a model as well. And then we are setting autoplay as true and show underscore text as true. I'll tell you about this a little later. And if we have other API keys, we can use this function to update it. And then we are using the voice as the selected voice as well. We can use other voices also using this function that we have written here. Then later on, we are within this function toggle underscore text underscore in underscore history. So here this function saves the audio generated in our history, which we can download it later. And then here we have also given a path where the audio file gets saved. And then we're using Value UI as an interface. So in this interface, we have 3 checkboxes with activity ETS, which means text to audio speech. And then these 3 checkboxes have been clicked true, and we have set it to be true as shown earlier, show underscore text as true. And then we have a drop down where we can choose the selected voices. And also we can have a text box where we can enter a different API key. So this is our code that we have written to convert the text to audio. I hope you like the model. Thank you.
So, let's embrace the joy of travel again. With Wanderlust, exploring the world is just the beginning. Thank you, and here's to many happy travels.